All right, let's get right into it. When you think about cloud storage, your mind probably jumps straight to AWS versus Azure, right? But honestly, in today's market, just picking a side, that's the least interesting part of the conversation. The real question is how the choice you make today is going to prepare you for whatever disruption is coming tomorrow. You see, right now, we're in the middle of a major reckoning for enterprise infrastructure. Big, market-shaking events are forcing everyone to completely rethink the strategies they've relied on for years. And guess what's at the very heart of all of it? Storage. So what kicked all this off? Well, a huge catalyst was the recent Broadcom VMware deal. That sent a massive shockwave through the industry. It was a wake-up call for IT leaders everywhere, making them realize just how fast the ground can shift under their feet, and it's forcing them to question every single piece of their tech stack. And that leads us to the big question we're digging into here. This isn't just about comparing features and prices anymore, it's about resilience. What kind of storage architecture is going to keep you flexible, keep you in control, no matter what the market throws at you next? And to even start answering that, you've got to look at the two absolute titans of the industry. I mean, together, AWS S3 and Azure Blob handle over half of all object storage workloads on the planet. So understanding their strengths, their weaknesses, it's absolutely crucial for any company. All right, so let's properly introduce these two heavyweights. Let's see what makes them the default choice for so many organizations all over the world. First up, you've got Amazon S3. And make no mistake, it is the undisputed market leader. I mean, the scale is just mind-blowing. We're talking over 100 million requests every single second. Its real superpower, though, is how deeply it's woven into that massive AWS ecosystem. You know, powering everything from analytics with Athena and Redshift to AI with SageMaker. And in the other corner, you have Azure Blob Storage. It's a total powerhouse in its own right, handling, get this, over a quadrillion transactions a month. Azure's secret weapon is how perfectly it fits into companies that are already Microsoft-centric, especially with things like its native Active Directory integration and its strength in hybrid cloud setups. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the technical details that really set these two apart, because this is where the decision-making really gets interesting. So first, let's talk about how they handle data you don't need to access all the time. AWS gives you this really granular set of tools with a specific tier for almost any use case you can dream up. Azure, on the other hand, goes for simplicity. They offer 4 very straightforward tiers: hot, cool, cold, and archive that cover the most common ways people access their data. Now, when you're storing your company's most critical data, you have to know it's safe, right? Well, both S3 and Blob offer these almost unbelievable levels of durability. The chance of you ever losing data is practically zero. But they get to that point in slightly different ways. And this slide really shows you Azure's approach perfectly. Over on the left, you've got Zone Redundant Storage, or ZRS. That protects you if a whole data center goes offline by keeping copies in 3 separate facilities in the same area. But on the right, Geo-Redundant Storage, GRS, takes it to another level. It protects you from an entire regional disaster by copying your data hundreds of miles away. And just look at these numbers. AWS S3 has its famous 11 nines of durability, which is incredible. But then Azure comes in with 12 nines for ZRS and a completely astronomical 16 nines for GRS. Now, let's be real, for almost any workload, both are way more reliable than you'll ever need, but those numbers are still seriously impressive. So what about those super demanding jobs, like AI training and big data analytics? Well, both platforms have an answer for that. You've got options like S3 Express One Zone and Azure Premium Block Blobs that are built for pure speed, giving you latency down in the single-digit or even sub-millisecond range. Of course, we have to talk about money. And if you just look at the sticker price, the raw cost to store a gigabyte of data, it looks like Azure has a little bit of an edge. But this is one of those classic moments where the headline does not tell the full story. And boom, here's the twist, the hidden cost of API calls. For a workload that makes 10 million requests, look at that difference. The API cost on AWS could be more than 10 times higher than on Azure. And when you roll all that into the total cost of ownership over 3 years, Azure can end up being significantly cheaper. So here's the most important point. This isn't about one platform being universally better than the other. It's all about matching the right service to your specific needs, your workloads, your team's skills, and the tech you're already using. You're probably going to lean towards AWS S3 if you're already deep in their ecosystem, right? If your analytics are running on Redshift or EMR, or if you need that crazy low latency for an AI project, S3 is just a natural fit. Plus, since it's been around the longest, it has the biggest ecosystem of third-party tools out there. On the flip side, Azure Blob really starts to shine when your world is already built around Microsoft. If you're using Azure Synapse and Power BI, managing users with Active Directory, or your ops teams just live and breathe the Microsoft environment, Blob is going to feel just like home. Okay, but let's take a step back for a second, because all this S3 versus Blob stuff, it all builds up to a much, much bigger strategic question that you have to ask. Because the real danger here isn't about picking the quote-unquote wrong cloud provider. The real existential risk is vendor lock-in. It's about building an architecture that is so tangled up in one vendor's special services that you can't escape, even when you want to or need to. It's the exact lesson we all just learned the hard way from the VMware situation. And listen, this is not just some theory. This is real money. Organizations are reporting that this lock-in tax eats up 15 to 30% of their entire annual cloud budget. That's cash that's going to things like massive data exit fees or rewriting entire applications just because you're stuck. And this forces you to ask a really fundamental question about your own strategy. Is your storage platform an insurance policy? Something that gives you flexibility and protects you from these market shifts? Or has it become a liability, tying you down and limiting your options for the future? At the end of the day, it all just boils down to this one simple but incredibly powerful idea. Your foundational tech choices, especially for something as critical as your data storage, should always, always be about opening doors, not closing them. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this to think about. Take a good, hard look at your own infrastructure. Is it really built to handle the disruptions of tomorrow? Or is it a relic, built for yesterday's battles, from a simpler time, when all you had to do was pick a side?